My name is Frank Saley. I'm called the Brushman here at Fleamasters Flea Market. I started here about 28 years ago. I was in the lawn business at the time. I said, geez, this is something I can do on the weekends. And since then, I've moved around the market, and now I'm at A48 and 50.
Before Frank settled into the Fleamasters family, he found himself walking many unexpected paths through life. One of those paths landed him in an unlikely position at an architectural firm.
Well, after I finished my military tour of duty, went back to Detroit where I was born and raised, and talked to a teacher of mine that I had. She recommended that there was an opening at one of the architectural offices, Minoru Yamasaki and Associates. Well, I told her I don't have no background in architecture, and she says, well, Frank, you'll do fine. And I says, fine, okay, I'll try it on. I did PR work there, I did drafting, I did some interior color selections, and I also learned how to build architectural models. The architect was known to build models of all future jobs, and that way he can explain all the details to the owner of what it's going to look like, what the materials are going to be, and all that. That's how I got to learn the processing of building a model and all it took. My first day on the job there, I had to pick up people from the World Trade Towers. And they were to come to the office, and it was their first meeting with the architect to start talking about the Twin Towers. The World Trade Towers, I think, were done in a 1/8" scale. When the model was finished, it was almost every bit of 6 foot. There was a final presentation of the model that we had to ship and take to New York City. Well, I was selected. I drove it one winter day into New York City. We found where the building we were supposed to take the truck to. I said, okay, where do you want me to park the truck? And he said, well, back it into that elevator. I says, what? So that's backed it into the elevator. I went up with the truck in the elevator 3 floors. Drove the truck back out onto the space there, could turn it around, that's how much room was there. Then we unloaded it and waited for the owners to take a look at it.
Though Frank quite literally carried the concept of the Twin Towers to New York City long before their first girder was placed, he never got to set foot in the actual structures. They were taken in the 9/11 attacks just 2 months before Frank planned to return to New York City to visit them.
We were there in Thanksgiving of 2001. Well, needless to say, the towers came down in 9/11. Oh, I went to ground zero. I can't believe the way what steel was left. It was the way it was twisted, and you imagine 110 floors of steel. The fire really did a number.
After his initial work on the official presentation Twin Towers model, later in life, after surviving a bout of cancer, Frank found himself carrying another model of the Twin Towers.
I am also involved in the cancer relay in Lehigh Acres. Different events, we would have different themes, and one of the themes 2 years ago, I had 9/11. One of my team members was creative enough to make this spirit stick carrying the theme.
Frank has come through many varied chapters during the course of his story, and he is always ready to find out what the next page will bring.
So it's really an interesting life I had for those during the years of my architecture experience. My whole life has been very educational. I've been blessed so many times of things that have come my way. Learning, never give up. You have an idea, pursue it. But I get myself involved. I want to try everything.
You can visit Frank at his booth at Fleamasters Flea Market, row A48 and 50. Thanks for listening to this story of the market.